All right, so listen, I don't know if you heard the news or not, but I am doing something different for the Woman Evolve podcast. We are not going anywhere. We're just changing the way that we do it. Instead of me doing it live and navigating the comments in the chat, which I love because kicking it with the delegation is my favorite thing to do, we're doing something that will allow me a little bit more flexibility for my family, but also maintain the sisterhood, the laugh, the joy, and the wisdom that we've come to experience from the podcast. You are getting an exclusive first look at the first episode, the first iteration of what the Woman Evolve podcast is going to look like. For this week, I am going to be joined by Yvonne Orji. If you do not know who she is, check the bio beneath me. Her girl is on it. She's amazing, so accomplished, but she has an incredible backstory, and we wanted you to see everything from beginning to end. So if you're listening to the podcast, you won't get the full version of what you're about to experience here, but because you are a part of Woman Evolve TV, you get it all. Drop us a comment, send us a note on the socials. We want to know how you are enjoying this version of the Woman Evolve podcast. So let's check it out.
Hey, boo, hey.
You, how are you?
Great.
Yes.
We did it.
We did it. No one knows.
If y'all knew what
no one knows the trouble.
You don't know the cause.
Okay, of the oil, but it's happening.
Here we are.
Okay, so you are like, I'm trying something different.
Okay.
So I like Simone Biles. Is that, can we call it that? Can Simone Biles become a verb? Like when we say, you know what, I can't continue in the path that I've been continuing on, and I may or may not come back. We'll see what happens. Can we verb it?
I feel like then like it would have to be like in a Drake album. You know how he was like, Nemo. So he'd be like, I ain't gonna do this, Simone Biles. Like I feel like you would have to like.
So
put
I
it
need
to
to
an
wait.
A count, like a beat.
If Drake does do it,
No, like you can do it now, but that would be the error. Like that would be the analogy to like.
Oh,
to
okay. All right.
I mean, all respect, Simone Biles. Like,
Right.
you did what you had to do, so
No.
she's doing what she had to do. In case anybody's like in the comments, like, don't.
No. This, I admire what she did. I feel like she did what needed to be done for herself under a lot of pressure.
And she still came back and won. Like,
And did.
Half y'all, your pressure is, why we gotta wear masks?
And she is the most decorated gymnast. Like, she's done more in her lifetime than most of us will do.
And she's still only 12. So
a young person.
And a roadie. She's more than 12. Give her respect.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Okay, so I stopped doing the podcast the way that I was doing it, but I still want to create a platform where women can talk about how they're evolving, how they're changing, what they're learning. And so you're my first try.
Am I the first to also congratulate you on 100,000 plus now books sold? Because we out here evolving.
We out here evolving.
Or whatever.
Oh my! And we have books that came out very close together.
Yes.
Like, and that was a season. I love seeing just, what? Why are you? Why are we laughing?
I was laugh crying.
It's a lot of. How was your book experience?
For me, well, I was also launching a book while shooting the final season of Insecure.
Okay.
And I remember you were sweet. You hit me up and was like, "What can we do?" And I was like, I can do very limited things.
Yeah.
I am choosing to have fun. Because that was my thing. I was like, I want to have fun. Because I want to look back and not be stressed.
Yeah.
And not be mad. I just want to be like, I had a Bentley for a weekend. I was doing my Bentley book drops. And I was like, well, that was fun. And I was just like, I did the hard work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At this point, I was like, this is, I know what needs to be done, but I can't do it like it should be done because I'm doing something else. And that's also super important. Insecure was like, you got one more day to ask us for some time off because I don't know if you realize you're number 2 on the call sheet, baby. And so we need you. And I was like, you're right. Let me just do this one more quick show though. So it was the best that I could do in that season. But I think what's been great is just seeing how people are taking the words. Like I was like, oh, mission accomplished. Because when I set out to write a book that was part DMX, part Jesus, and part Chris Rock. You know what I mean? So it was just like, I'm going to hit you with the what? Then I'm going to hit you with the jokes. Then I'm going to hit you with the like, do you want a revolution? You know what I mean? Like, so everyone got that.
What a powerful combination. What powerful.
But I appreciate the readers who were like, yo, I cried, but also snapped my finger, but also a Harlem shake. Like, it's like, because it's a 1, 2, 3 combo, baby. You know, like, I'm going to give you everything. Because I also feel like the word should be fun. And if we can't have fun, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, and life, Lord knows we need it.
Yes.
Okay. I want to talk about Bamboozled by Jesus.
Boom.
But first I want to know, okay? Yes, here.
All of this.
Right here.
Make sure y'all go get it.
Can you tell me about a time... No, I'm gonna ask you 2 questions.
Ooh, 2 for 1. This is a combo. Chick-fil-A. Ow.
Tell me about an area of your life where you knew better and are finally doing better. And then tell me an area you're still working on.
I don't like these questions at all. Like, I feel
you
so
love them.
attacked.
No, it's good. It's
like
good.
You came out the gate hot.
No, it's fine. Easy
Lecrae out
there.
here.
It could be anything. It could be anything.
An area of my life that I knew better and I'm finally doing better.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. You can cut out the thought time.
You know we got that.
The little Jeopardy thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we will add that.
Mm-hmm. These ad-libs?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They're not genuine.
They are. Go ahead.
Hold on, because I got it. Well, yeah, we're going deep. Really sitting in my power.
Oh.
And my self-worth and everything that, like, I knew, but it was like it wasn't even a tug of war. It was double dutch. And I was like, sometimes I would get in the rope and sometimes I wouldn't. Because I was always holding my breath. Like, I talk about it in the book, but I was bullied for so long, but I knew that God had a purpose for me. So it's almost kind of like, the devil also knew that God had a purpose for me, so he was like, if I can just get her to just fall apart by 8th grade, then she's going to spend the rest of her life trying to get back to who she always was supposed to be, and hopefully she never does. And the pandemic was really good at, and actually, I have your dad to thank.
Yeah.
He has a message called, I Didn't Know I Was Me.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I was screaming it from the rooftops because at first I was like, well, if he's saying it and he's grown and he's really accomplished, but everything he's saying is what I felt, but it felt crazy to feel that way because how am I not supposed to know I'm me? I'm in my 30s. But he gave voice to something that I had been feeling for so long. And it was this thing of, when you're beaten down for so long, but you know that there's a purpose on your life, but you're just like, but why me though? Like, why? Like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I hear, it was like very Gideon-ish, right? It's like, nah, you got the wrong one. I'm the weakest link. My tribe, we at the bottom. Like, the totem pole is here and we are here, but good chat or whatever, Angel. And it's like, nah, it's you.
Yeah.
And I've always known it was me, but then I'm always kind of like, but what if they find out me is not good enough?
Yeah.
But what if they find out me isn't perfect? Because I've known performative love for a long time. Like, when you're bullied, you're just, you can't be bullied and not smart. So I was a straight A student. And
have to pick a struggle.
You have to pick a struggle. Okay. Like, I'm not gonna be. Like, I'm not gonna make it. Bam, you gonna see me somewhere. And I'll never forget when I told the bullies, y'all just mad because one day y'all gonna work for me. I definitely got beat up at the bus stop.
That's okay. That's all right.
But it's fine. But because that was all my mama said to me, because that was the positive reinforcement. These girls are just jealous of you. Why would they know you're going to be somebody in your life? I was like, yeah. They are just jealous of me. I didn't believe it, but I had to hold on to
You had to hold on to what you got.
I knew they sat next to each other in the lunch table, like, sharing food and whatnot. And that wasn't what my experience was, but I was like, they're just jealous of me.
That's what it is. Look at me fine.
Look at me.
Look at me and look at them.
Not fine at all. Just, the immigrant struggle was real. I was like, why do I have plaid and argyle on at the same time? Anyway, we made it. Look at us now. But it was that thing of like, for the 5 seconds I would allow them to copy my homework in science class, I was the it chick. So it was now like, okay, well, what can I barter for my love? What can I give? Oh, my brothers were always handsome, so one of them was just like a sugar mama, sugar daddy, I don't know what.
Glucose guardian.
Glucose guardian. Well, he had a lot of money, but he had something. Anyway, we won't be talking about that. I was like, y'all keep coming back. What y'all working on? Anyway, so they would just be like, can we get your brother's number? And, you know, like, if you give us your brother's number, like, we'll be your friend. So then I was, like, pimping out my brother. Like,
nice.
I really need you to talk to, you know, so-and-so, because I still remember their names. And I was very much about to say her name. And I was like, she might be listening.
Possibly. Did they know? Did your brothers know that they were being pimped out? And did they care? Like, did they follow through in order to make sure you were covered?
They followed through for their own.
That's all right.
Like, it was just like, oh, no, she is cute. You can give me her number. But, like, it didn't matter that it was like, but I need
to help
this.
me, yeah.
Because then, like, they would break up. And it was like, you're making things. You're supposed to get married to this shit. Like, I'm supposed to be popping forever. So, basically, I'm in, and the book actually helped to hone the me that I am. Like, the me that I am now was the me that needed to write the book. Yeah. Because everything else, every time I tried it, it was just a different version. It was a version that I thought other people would want, or other people would like, or what I thought other people thought I was supposed to be. And finally I was like, F it. I'm going to just be me. Yeah. And now I'm going to see who's going to rock with the me that I am, that loves Cardi B, Jesus, and, you know, Chris Rock.
Yeah. You said that you are finally, like, sitting in your power.
Yes.
Do you think that you had imposter syndrome before? Or do you think imposter syndrome's kind of overplayed? Because what you said is something that I said to my therapist, where it's kind of like my life and influence grew exponentially in a way that I didn't calculate or manufacture. And for me, sometimes that can feel very intimidating, to have a life and to mean something to people in a way that you're still, like, learning to navigate for yourself. Yeah. And she was like, this sounds like imposter syndrome. And it was like, I don't feel like I'm an imposter. You know, Paul talks about, like, I'm trying to lay hold of the reason that God has laid hold of me. And I feel like I've spent a lot of time, probably within the last few months, especially, like, with the book and stuff, like, trying to figure out, like, what is this that you're doing through me, and who do I need to become in order to make sure I can still, you know, show up in the way that God needs me to show up.
I think it's not imposter syndrome, but it's not totally imposter syndrome, right, for me. Because for me, it, like, I know God has a purpose for me. Like, I'm not even, like, what? Like, I didn't ask for this life that I was living at all. Like, I was living in Laurel, Maryland. Hello.
I remember. I remember when you lived. We met on, yes, I remember.
And, yeah, you were, I still have the magazine from that conference.
Emo? Really?
Because you had the Rock Your Stance T-shirts in there.
Which I don't know why. I was a whole divorced woman with 2 children with a shirt about keeping it locked till I get that rock. Ma'am, what about after you got the rock and then everything's fine? Go ahead.
Yeah, everything is fine. But I was like, but it tracks. Like, it still fits. Because at any point you can decide to keep it locked, right? But for me, I know, like, I'm only here but by the grace of God. And sometimes when God's favor is on you and you're in an industry that's kind of merit-based, but you get the thing that other people who have been working hard through their merit get, and you feel like one day, like, God, your hand can never get off of me, because then I will feel like a fraud, and I will feel like exposed, because it's just like, your favor, and yes, my work, you know, faith without works is dead, but, like, your favor for certain catapulted me to a place that I didn't even know I could be. But I also know it's because you know that you could trust me in that space. Right. So obedience will do a lot more for you than 20 years of work. Yeah. But that's
a word. That's a whole word that you just said.
Listen, I'm living it.
There's acceleration connected to obedience.
But and also just like a heart. I start the book off by saying, like, I'm not that smart. I'm just dumb enough to say yes. Just keep saying yes. Like, all right, God, like, I mean, I don't know what that look like, but let's rock. Because what is my alternative? Yeah. Like, again, I say, one of us is a liar. Yeah. Then last I checked, it wasn't going to be you. So I guess let me see what you got on the other side that I can't see right now. And so for me, it's less the imposter syndrome, but it's the whose voice will you believe the most?
Yes.
Because the voices from my past, because it wasn't just middle school, it was then like high school, like, all right, oh, I got friends now. Like, oh, but y'all don't know. Because I believe that voice a little bit more than this voice. Like, y'all don't know. Like, folks didn't really rock with me. And eventually, whatever that thing is that's in me that wasn't rockable with, y'all gonna find it. So maybe we should just stop this now. So it was like the self-fulfilling prophecy too, and like defeating defeatist mindset a little bit. But then it's those sliver of moments where God is like, no, you are dope. It's like, I am dope. But it's like, but what if I'm not? Like, what if I'm not sustainably? You know what I mean?
I think that's, yeah.
It's like, so there are clear moments where I have harnessed my power and I'm walking in the fruit of that, like wielding it. And then it's just like, yikes, that was crazy. Who did that? Was that me? Oh no. And then I just kind of like,
That's, yeah.
shrink. But then it's just like, I'm tired of shrinking. Then I power up again, as opposed to being like, I said it, I meant it, and I'm here to represent it. Like, what? Y'all can have a problem with it if you want, but that's on you. As far as I'm concerned, I'm here. And I'm reaching more for that and not caring how it's perceived.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to have a sit down with Diddy and just be like, so tell me about how you are able to be. Like, Diddy makes you believe that everything he's involved with is 1,000% going to succeed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you'll never know the losses. Because in his mind, even the losses are wins.
Yeah.
And you're just like, take that, take that, take that. And it's like, we did take it. We did. But I'm like, I aspire to such levels of confidence. Because what I do is I hold my breath. And I just wait for other people to tell me it's good. And I'm like, it is good. Yeah. As opposed to me being like, no, it's phenomenal. I'm doing the other side now.
I feel good in the moment, and then I think when it's exposed, I end up feeling that way. Like, what are people going to think about? Is it good? I hold my breath. And I feel like for the last few months, I've been holding my breath. And so I took like the month of July to just breathe. And so now I'm like re-engaging and trying to figure out like what feels authentic to me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like what people experience is the fruit of your success.
Yeah.
But the key to your success really has a lot to do with your spirit and who you became in the process and how you said to yourself yes to this and no to that, and to really stay focused. And I think that is hard to remember when you continue to become successful, because the team and the strategy and the what are you going to do next hijacks the fruit of your success and makes you believe that the success is in whatever that achievement is and not in who you have to become in order to produce on that level.
And so to that point, I started this year off to my Nigerians, y'all not gonna be happy with this, but I was like, I want to be less Nigerian.
What?
I do.
What does it mean to be less Nigerian?
You understand? Like, we
talked about this.
Being Nigerian got me where I am. Like, having faith and having the green, white, green flag be on my back. Like, I made it, because I literally have a tattoo that says Nigerians don't finish last on my wrist. Nigerians they carry last. And this year I was like, yeah, but I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Like, I'm like, I don't want to prove anything else to anybody. Yeah. Like, I've done the hard thing. I've worked, and I want to know ease and flow. And I want to know if I can still be successful tapping into ease and flow, because I know hustle hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
The hustle hard has been chef's kiss. But I'm like, yeah, that's for the birds a little bit, because then that keeps you in a cycle. That got my mama 2 knee surgeries.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm good on that. Like, there's got to be something else to life. And I'm not going to front. The biggest challenge I've experienced this year is even with the book. Because, like, if I didn't make that goal for myself at the beginning of this year, I probably wouldn't be sitting here, because I'd be burnt the heck out and been like, yeah, I can't do nothing else.
Yeah.
Because I would have pushed myself while shooting, while getting ready for the movie that's coming out and all of that, and still being like, all right, great. Well, we got to do this, and I'm going to take everything, and I'm going to do this. And, I would have just not slept, not eaten, and just been like, we did it. And my therapist was like, well, what's the goal for this book? What's your desire? Why did you write this book? So those are the only things we're going to focus on. And she was like, I'm not focused on numbers. I'm not focused on
the list.
I'm not focused on anything but like, did you do what you told me that God told you that you were supposed to do? Great. Goodbye and God bless. And it was just like such a struggle because I'm like, yeah, but I'm a greedy Nigerian. I want both. I want all. I want all. I'm like, give me all the things. And she was like, no, that's not what you said you wanted. And it was just, it felt like I was taking my cape off.
Yeah.
Which when your cape has been the thing that protects you and also the thing that you believe has elevated you, you're kind of like, I have to trust God on another level now. Mm-hmm. And I've been so accustomed to trusting God, but also with using my own strength. So it's like, me plus you, G, So now it was just like, is all you?
Yeah.
Oof. Okay, but can I make a suggestion?
Excuse me.
Excuse me. I was wondering, and just being able to let go and be happy with whatever came, because at the end of the day, what came was me still loving me.
Yeah.
Me still knowing that I did everything. Me still knowing that, like, if you're trying to get away from performative love, the people who need a performance, you'll be able to see them.
Wow.
More clearly.
Yeah.
Because the people who are just rocking with you for rocking with you's sake, they'll be there. And even just in like, hey, I just want to be lighter. Mm-hmm. And I'm also making room for a guy in my life. I'm making room for not needing to feel like I gotta work all the time because I want to take a break. Like, for real. Like, I want to, like, official time out.
Yeah.
So that's where I am.
I love that. I do. I really do, because it's like, it's helping me, because I feel, because I'm not, we say it all the time, like, I'm more than what I do, but then to actually live it is a different thing. And what my therapist and I have been working on, I was like, she checked me the other day, I was like, I feel like I'm a little lazy right now. She's like, I'm sorry, what? I said, I don't, when the therapist checking, you're like, what did I say that was wrong? Right.
Like it's like, you trying to be perfect.
Just tell me. Don't lead the witness. Just tell me. Give it to me.
And she was like, why are you judging yourself? And I said, I just made a statement. Where is the judgment? She was like, you said you feel lazy, or is it that you've worked nonstop for the last 7 years and now you're taking a rest? And I was like, I like the use of that word better than lazy. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
And it was the reframing, because again, the Nigerian in me is like, no idle time. There's always something to be done. You know, always be working. Always be, it's like you take a rest, somebody gonna come behind you, and it's just like, okay.
Do you follow the Nap Ministry on Instagram?
The Nap Ministry is the blessing of Abraham.
I don't know a lot about them. I've just seen their posts. So, like, if you're listening or you're watching, like, I don't know about the theology or anything behind it. But I know them graphics. I know that them graphics.
Sit yourself
and
down.
Them captions say, sit down.
Yes.
Like, and without guilt, and to really cancel hustle culture. Yeah,
because like, hustle culture is great. Like, you need a balance, right? Because then you have the people who swing the other side of the pendulum and they ain't done nothing in 50, 11 years. And it's like, you see, I told you, we were supposed to chill. Nah, you were still unemployed for the last 8 years.
You need to know what your word is, though. Like, because I think that your default setting is hustle.
Yes.
So you need a Nap Ministry.
Yes.
Because you'll never allow yourself to be someone who just sits down and they're unemployed. This is a word for somebody. Don't grab every word you hear.
Like you said, you got to know your factory, your default factory setting.
Yes.
Because there are people who their default setting is rest, and they're like, yeah, man.
And you need someone to tell you to get up. Get up.
Climb the ladder, okay? Put your hiking shoes on, fam. Okay. This is not, it's also kind of like the people who be like, because I'm getting rid of everything that's not serving me. Well, your default factory setting was to cancel everything. Now you're in an island by yourself.
Right, now you can't keep nobody. You don't maintain relationships or have healthy communication patterns. Look at you.
Because it wasn't that they didn't serve you, it was that they checked you. And you didn't like being checked. And now you like, they don't serve me. Oh, okay, cool. So you surround yourself with yes people. How that gonna work out for you? Good luck and God bless.
Now.
Say it. We did.
The next question I was going to ask you.
That was only question one. Jesus wept. We gonna be here forever.
No, everything's fine. Well, you kind of answered it because I was asking, you know, what's an area of your life where you knew better and are finally doing better?
Yes.
And then my next question was going to be, what's an area you're working on? You know, activating the do better because you know better.
Yes.
But is it being less Nigerian?
Well, it is that. It is that. And also, I hated this word. When I tell you I hated this word, ooh, thank God for therapy. Listen, I'm telling you right now, what is my insurance looking like? Because that bill, woof. I could not stand the word femininity. I was like,
okay, let's talk about this.
all these people tap into your femininity, your stuff. Like, again, this is also probably being less Nigerian too, because like I was like, that's so weak. I also grew up with 3 older brothers, and I'm in a male-dominated field, and so it was basically like, never let them see you weak, you know, never let them see you cry. And it just also felt like something that wasn't natural. So my initial instinct was to like be mad at it, because I was like, all these. You know, I give my man my Coke bottle to open. I'm like, you can't open it yourself? Like, you didn't find, like, you know, and I just was just like so mad. I'm like, so I gotta be a damsel in distress in order for me to be helped. Like, it just, and then I was like, I hit my I'm tired button.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care that I can do it. I need someone else to do it for me. You know what? I'm not everywhere. I saw a graphic on Instagram that was like, I'm not every woman. It's not all of you.
It's not. I can't do it.
I can't and I don't want to. Now I'm like, I feel like I'm on the other side of the pendulum. Who want to help? Who come help me?
That was the hardest part for me in getting married. Like marrying the king that I am married to right now. Because I was so used to doing everything on my own, and he wanted so badly to be another perspective and to be another set of hands, and I did not know how to include him in my decision making. That was like our first couple of years in marriage. He was like, why did you just do that without me? And I was like, because I could. You know what I mean? It didn't even dawn on me to think,
include you or to ask.
No.
Yeah, for me, it is the I probably will still need to work on that, because obviously there's some things that you can only work on when you have someone there. But the part that I am currently working on is just the I'm gonna invite you into the process. I'm gonna invite you. Now I still want total authority. I want my autonomy. I want authority. Like, but this is where we go, because you know it's that dance of like, I gotta act like I consider your feelings. Okay.
Oh, that's going to be really. That's It's not an act. It's not. Sometimes,
girl, I've had to learn the like. So what do you think? Meanwhile, I'm like, I don't give a god.
You know what you have to do? You know what you have to do? You have to, once they give their input, you have to authentically find the value in it.
Yes.
No, for real.
No, that was me authentically finding the value in it. See how
you in trouble. We gonna have lessons after the podcast. You was like,
gonna take the Emmy nomination on it. Like, she's not a great actress after all.
Yeah. Like, I have to challenge myself to like process that perspective, how it helped me to make a better decision, so that I find value in asking. So it doesn't feel like it's something I'm checking off the list of things I'm supposed to do.
How do you find the best? Like, you asked and then
wow,
and then you got the response, but you're just like, still not what I'm going to do though.
Well, so I asked, but then I asked like, why?
Okay.
Like, so summer camp was like one of our first things. Is like, I enrolled Kenzie in a summer camp. Moved here from Dallas. That first summer I was here, I enrolled her in a summer camp, and the timing was right. The distance was close. It was within my budget. It made sense. And he was like, oh, I wish you would have asked me first. And I was like, what?
Pray do tell.
Help me. Yeah. And he was like, well, because that's out of town, just went through and because of that, it's not necessarily safe over there, or it's only 10 minutes during this time of day, but it's 30 minutes at this time of day. And so
right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I had to then go back and like come to this place where I'm like, okay, you don't really know this city yet, like to process the value that he added to me in that moment. So even with like a business decision, like it'll make make sense for the platform. It'll make sense for the direction of the brand.
Yes.
But then he'll bring up something that will help me understand, but like long-term sustainability, or this is going to conflict with that. And so when I found the value in the perspective that he brings, it makes me asking him something that I look forward to and not something that feels like a checklist.
I think that's all valid. I do. I should have. See, my problem
It's not giving.
My problem is I say things and I really mean it, but the way I'm saying it is like this.
It's because you're laughing. It's the
Dear future husband, I'm a comic. We gonna laugh.
You have this huge bright smile that's like, I don't accept it. But listen, what I do want to say is this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I completely. I think the caveat is you have someone that you trust.
Yeah.
You trust and you trust their opinion. I
had to learn to trust though.
Yeah.
And I learned.
My voice was so.
Yeah. I had to learn. And I think I learned through maintaining my autonomy, right? But really like challenging myself to like, why are you...
Because I think both parties, especially I think if you're with a high performance kind of individual on both ends, I think there is a understanding on both parties to know that like there's going to be an adjustment.
Like, there's going to be an adjustment because I'm also going to think for myself too. Yes. So you're going to have to lean into this thinking and I will lean into your thinking, and together we'll have a thought that changes the world.
Look at that.
Did you see that?
A thought that changes the world. You better hide. Yes, set our feet at this moment.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just bringing up all random references right now. But no, so I was saying that I hated the word femininity, and then I had an experience with someone that like helped me like just be comfortable and just be like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm like, yeah, the trash does need to be taken out.
Yeah.
Look at you, black man. You
with your strong arms.
Oh, it's upstairs. Well, this is nice.
At least you did it.
Yeah, I
allowed
look
him
forward
to
I
do
look
it.
forward, and I think what it was too is that they found enjoyment in doing it.
Yeah.
Because I don't. I think
Yeah.
my previous experiences have been the like, pay me back like you pay your rent. Pay me back like it's money I spent. You know what I mean? Shawty, say what's your price. And I just didn't want to get, I don't like tit for tat. Like, I also don't like helping you if you think something needs to be returned.
Right.
So either you like it or not. And so then I'm like, you know what? I don't even like the way this energy is. So I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
And that's my default factory setting is I'll do it myself. But when someone, like, without even asking was like, oh, yeah, let me take this out. It's like, let you take it.
Yeah, how did you not? He must have really messed up.
He didn't mess up. That's the thing. As you get older, you can, I like to say, what was the word? I consciously uncouple.
No.
You wouldn't let me have. How you gonna be mad? I'm gonna go past it to Rick. So she would just hit you with a no.
No.
Yes. Two things can be true. That's my favorite
all
thing.
right.
Two things
No.
can be true.
Yeah.
He was great. And also, no.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong?
We go to the end. But like, still friends.
Yeah, great.
Yes.
How do you maintain friendship with someone when it
Because
doesn't
you use
work?
your words. And I was like our conversation to dissolve the relationship was probably, I was like, if someone heard it, they'd be like, so why are y'all breaking up and not getting married? It was just like, you know what I appreciate about you? And he was like, you know what I really love about you? And I was like, yo, I thank you for noticing. And it was like, all right, well, cool. All right, well, I'll talk to you later. And it was great. Two things can be true. They can have a lot of things that you desire, and it could also not be the right one for you in this moment.
So how do you overcome this ain't even, you know what I mean? But how do you overcome the FOMO of like, I let someone go who had a lot of the qualities that I don't think that I can maybe find in someone else?
I mean, everything's a risk, right?
Yeah.
So but I never work from a scarcity mindset.
Love this.
I don't, because even in breakups in the past, I've been like, yo, you was good, but there's a 2.0 version of you out there.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just the greedy side of me, just being like, I want everything, and maybe God will humble me, but until then, I feel as though that I'm bringing grade A, top shelf. Like, that's what you're going to get with me, the hands down. Even with flaws and all. Still, listen, my flaws is better than some of y'all wins. Okay, hello.
Yes.
And I desire the same.
Yeah.
I desire the same, and I know the same is out there. And what this experience taught me was like, oh, man, I actually value that. And so with the next person, if I don't see that, then that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, God, what is the version of all of the amazing qualities that this individual had, plus some of the other things that I still want to look for that I didn't identify in him?
So my husband has this thing he says to me, and I'm just speaking this blessing over your life, okay?
Because is it a blessing? Because I feel
it's
like
going to be it's a blessing. It's no, it's not an okie doke.
I had my hand out, but I was like, maybe I shouldn't receive it.
He says this to me, and one day you're going to say this about someone. But my husband says, "You are everything I have ever admired. No, you are everything I love about every woman I've ever admired, and then some."
Yeah, that's yeah. Halle. I received that for my husband to say that to me, and for me to say that about him. Because it is the conditioning of the mind to be like, yeah, God, I want it all.
Yeah.
And I know that no one's perfect, because they're as amazing as I am, I'm not perfect. And when the mirror of whoever my partner is points at me, I'm gonna be like, you see, you've seen too much, and now I'm you might have to go. There's a back house somewhere. You know what I mean? But I'm also one that actually leans into the uncomfortability of change.
That's great.
My therapist had to be like, you realize that there's no perfect way to like heal. And I was like, nah, sis, you don't understand. Like, is there a book you want me to read right now? Like, I'm
tell
gonna
me
do the
what
work.
you do.
I'm gonna put me in coach kind of chick. So, and I had to learn to just like feel my way. And it's just like, this feels very hokey. But all right, and so even when I told her I felt like I was lazy, she was like, I need you to recondition your mind. And then like the next day I was like, you know what? I'm not setting an alarm. I'm going to wake up whenever I wake up, and I'm not going to judge myself for what time it was when I woke up. And then it was like a series of, what do you want to do next, Yvonne? And it's like I'm asking myself this out loud in real time, like, all right, I kind of want to sit in the darkness because I have blackout shades. If you do not have blackout shades,
highly suggest that.
They are the blessing of Abraham. Because it's daytime when you want it to be. Okay?
When I choose.
When you choose. So I was like, all right, I want to sit here. Oh, I have a meditation app. All right. I already paid for it. So let me breathe for 5 minutes. Okay, now I want to read. And then it was like, I want to take a walk. And I was just like, I took a walk. I'm like, it's only 8 o'clock. Dang. What the heck? Like,
what else can I do
with me?
What else
would I do? Then it was like, you know what I really enjoy? The sun on my back. Okay, I'm going to put the sun on my back. Okay. And it was just like a series of me checking in and doing only the things that fed my soul and watered my garden. And that was so delicious.
That's how I thought. I went on my first me-cation in December.
Ooh.
And like it was when I went into the hotel room, it was just like, what do you want to do? Like, I just...
nothing is an answer as well.
Okay. We have an advice question.
Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, no. It's all of that. And I'm going to need you to put on your listening ears.
It's long. Somebody wrote you a story?
Yeah. But we need
you gotta tap out.
No, you can't.
I feel like you just bullied me. No, I need you.
Can't.
You sound like that chick at camp that's like, we're supposed to do this together, Becky.
It's a group project. You can't.
Your eyes just lit
Okay.
up. Okay. I'll do this for you, Sarah.
Your sound effects, though, they're going to need to be kept to a minimum. And you're not allowed to laugh.
This is, oh, God. Well,
you can't laugh. You can't gasp.
And I'm supposed to.
And you need to listen.
I make none of these promises.
Okay.
It's your show. I'm like the guest preacher that's never going to be invited back.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
I've been a long-time listener to the podcast, and in this shaky season of my life, honestly, you all feel like my only friends. I used to be a part of a big church, an awesome community of believers, and it's been nearly 2 years since I walked away from all of it. Okay. In April of 2019, my husband believed we needed to step down from our roles at our church as the family pastors. I believed he was doing this prayerfully and trusted his decision without much opposition. My husband was a great spiritual leader in our community, and I felt I had no reason to question his judgment.
I see where this is going.
No, you don't.
I think I do.
You don't.
I'll let you know if I was
All
right.
right, hold on. About 4 months into his new career, I received a text from a very close friend of ours stating that she needed to talk to me. This friend had been living with us for over a year, and as she was put out by her family, and I felt that it was the right thing to give her a place to stay, or so I thought.
I see where it's going.
Really?
I saw it when you first started.
How?
You said step down is the family church. I was like, okay.
Really? My math on math. That August afternoon, this friend came over to confess to me that her and my husband had essentially been having an affair since the moment she moved in. I was in complete shock. I even remember just standing there after hearing it. She hugged me and left.
Oh, hug me. I'm sorry.
Remember the rules?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I've only been saved since I was 17.
She hugged me and that's a long time. That's long enough. That's long enough.
But you're not going to see what my man is hug me. Lucifer, Judas, you better I stab you in the face. One of us is going to jail tonight.
She hugged me and left as I just continued to stare off blankly, thinking to myself that she must be lying. An angry phone call to my husband confirmed it, though, and I was completely broken.
So after this, she thought to herself that
she's lying. The girl is lying. She's been living with us. They've been sleeping together since the moment I didn't help you.
I'm curious to know why she went inwardly that the girl was lying. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
My husband and I have been together 10 years at this point, have 4 kids and a seemingly happy life. So I had no idea how and why this could happen to us. My church and church friends chose sides.
Wow.
Yeah, right. That friend who participated in this infidelity was treated like a victim. My husband and I tried to restore what was shattered the best we could with no guidance or help, but I had completely lost faith, not necessarily in us, but truly in God. I am mad and it feels justified. I feel like God overlooked me when I once felt like his favorite daughter. Recently, I've picked up drinking and drinking too much. I have no desire to stop, and that's what scares me. I feel like I have gotten to the place where I fully forgive my husband, but I know I need to get to the place where I fully forgive the church and stop being mad at the one who can truly heal me. I'm writing all this to ask how. Where do I even begin to restore such a deep wound? I can't pray, can't bring myself to open my Bible, and I catch myself rolling my eyes at even the first note of a worship song. And this is not me. I need some wisdom. I just read so you can start.
I was like,
right or no?
I'm gonna take a deep breath.
Yeah.
I gotta fix that. First, whoever you are, I'm so sorry that this is happening to you.
Yeah, for real. That's
like nobody just. I'm sorry that this is happening to you. The things that I'm noticing in this conversation that I noticed that I did in my past life is the denial. Mm-hmm. I used to do this thing that I thought was so noble, where it's like I used to see people through eyes of faith and not through the reality that they were presenting to me.
Yeah.
Like, I remember breakups and I was like, we can just work this out. Like, the purpose that it's just so big that you don't, and it's like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, they don't know.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no. I think it's two things that are, a couple of things that are interesting is the fact that she thought the girl was lying. Not, how could you do this to me? So one, it's just like, that's an interesting question or interesting sentiment to have that needs to be analyzed. Mm-hmm. And two, I've forgiven my husband. My question really would be, have you forgiven yourself? Here's why. Because, and I don't know you, there is always a version when something is revealed to you and you blame yourself. There's almost like, well, what did I do? How did I not see that? How could I have been? I was trying to help, and it's and when you can't answer that for yourself, because I remember when one time I broke up with someone, and like they did a bait and switch, and it was just like, woo. And I remember sitting in therapy, and I was like, I don't even understand how this happened. Like, I'm not a dumb joint. And she was just like, do you think everyone who gets lied to or who gets deceived is a dumb joint? Like, there are very smart, capable women who are lied to and deceived. Like, you chose to believe what you wanted to for whatever reason. That's what I want to deal with. Yeah. But like, no, you're not a dumb joint. You're very smart. And that question is the same reason why I'm questioning you. And like, why did you think old girl was lying? Because it says more about you than about them, about the situation, right? And actually that experience is what led me to go deep in therapy, because I was like, yo, I was out here like, because I don't understand. And it was like very self-righteous and very indignant of like, why me? Like, why would you even allow my time to be wasted? And God was like, yo, I need you to go through this so you can see like everybody's not for you. Because, I was really in this like, and when my therapist said, I feel like you were living in denial, I was like, no, denial is what, my aunts are with her sons, like denial, like I've seen denial. And she said, would you like me to use another word that sits better with you, but means the same thing?
Oh, violence.
I said, you know what? I need a refund for this session. Yeah. But she was right. But because I'm one person that like, obviously there's something I didn't see in this situation as it relates to me. And so now I need to like see what has been missing. Mm-hmm. And so often we want to believe the picture that we painted. Yeah. We want to believe God wouldn't do this to me. Right. And it's not God. You're right. God didn't do this to you. A trash human being. Yeah. And not to say your husband is trash, because he is the father of your kids.
He has his own work to do.
But a human being, we can strike that. And not to say
we can call him trash a little bit. You need to hear it a little bit. He's smelled a little bit.
You know what? A trifling human being.
We do trifling.
Because at the end of the day, like, people have to take responsibility for what they did. Yeah. And his actions were not great. And he knew they weren't. And a lot of times, and I hate to say it, it's like people know who they can do dumb stuff with. It's not blaming you whatsoever, but it's like, people know who they can get away with stupid stuff from.
Well, I think that's because when I was reading the letter, what I heard is that she probably, there's this term, it's called spiritual bypassing. It's not even a Christian term. A Buddhist came up with it, where like everything becomes spiritual. Yes. And so like my husband wants to move. I believed God. I did this. I did that. But in the process of spiritually bypassing your emotions, your fears, your thoughts and concerns. A girl was homeless. The right thing to do was to bring her in, regardless of maybe how you would have felt about it. And I think that she's going to look back and be very grateful that this happened, because that drinking, the anger, the unforgiveness, those are emotions. And until those are dealt with, it is going to create a disconnect in your relationship with God, because we've got to come to God and worship from the place of spirit and truth.
And it is it's like we have to villainize somebody, right? And so if she is like, I'm willing to work with my husband, which is what she said. And so then and then it's not like an internal, like, yo, again, that processing of like, what did I miss? And if we're not doing that, because drinking helps you, drugs, anything, all of that helps you numb. Yeah. Because you're just numbing the pain at this point. So then it's easy to blame God, because it's like, this your fault. Yeah. This your fault. How many times have I been like,
you tried me.
God, I'm the one that's out here rocking for you, fam. like he needs my help.
Right. Like I'm doing you a favor.
Like it would be in your best interest, homie. Like just nuck if you buck if you want. And he's like, I'm gonna let you finish.
Whenever you're done, let me know.
I'm gonna let you have your moment, but like when you find your mind, come on back to me. Yeah. And it sucks because in this situation, I'm sure this wonderful woman is probably thinking of like all those years of marriage. She's thinking about the kids. And then it's also like, what do I do now? Yeah. Because then it's like, am I really about to start over? And so then it becomes a damage control. Yeah. Like, I got to save what I can, but save you.
For sure.
I think the biggest thing to save is you, because from your saved, healed place, you can then make decisions of, I do forgive my husband and I do want us to work it out, or I can do better by myself.
Yeah.
Or I am going to walk away from the church because I felt like I was lied to and I felt like I wasn't supported. And maybe it's the church as a whole, or maybe it's just that church.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? I need to invest more in like just my spirituality before I do organized religion again. Like, there's so many different outcomes that can come from this when you are your most healed and most protected self. But the first thing to do is to get you without, because a lot of times we try to heal, but for other people.
Yeah.
So
right.
Like, I'm doing this work
so that I can come into this marriage and be what you need me to be.
I'm doing this work because I know that if I don't, my mama would think that I failed in my marriage because nobody else in my family has been divorced. I'm doing this work and it's just like, no. Find you.
Yeah.
Get back to you. Everything will make perfect sense. I'll never forget. Again, your father. Conversations in the Cave was another one that I listened to in the pandemic. And I had a series of, I mean, I'm just trying to help people out here. Yeah. I mean, you talk about just people sticking you for your money, people sticking for your friendship, people like taking advantage of you. And I'm like, I'm the gracious giver.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like, you told me you wanted to do this. I gave you an opportunity. You were my person. I was setting us up to succeed. You were going to run I had plans. They passed me the ball. I didn't realize I was running to the end zone and they were still over there at the 50-yard line. I was like, I thought, wait, what happened? When did you stop running? I'm so confused. And because I was so quick to, they love God. And that was enough. Like, there was no fact checking, and it was like, no, baby. You love Jesus with all your heart.
Yeah.
These are just know a version of him.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not like walking with him. We're not like friends.
They know around the area that he lives. You are like, yo, I want you to be pleased with me at the end of my life.
Yeah.
And I want that to be our relationship. And I was so quick. Anybody that was just like, Jesus, I'm like, you know him too? Oh my gosh, yes, how can I help you? Come into my home. And that was only 2 years ago.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh
Girl,
no.
he has done a quick work. Because like I said, Conversations in the Cave, when, Elijah was tripping out, like, God, I'm the only one here. And God was like, you not you when you hungry, sit down, eat, whatever. And Bishop Jake said, God will give you something that none of your fighting, none of anything can help with, and that's direction.
Yeah.
And what God gave me was clarity. And he gave me clarity to know that I was seeing people through eyes of faith, that I needed to be seen through eyes of wisdom and eyes of discernment. And I was almost playing the victim because I was like, but I did the Christian thing. No, the Christian thing was to be like, you got to get out of my life.
Yeah.
Because you're not a great person. And where I'm going, you cannot go. Love you with the grace and the glory of Jesus. Please leave before I stab you.
Yeah.
That's also the Christian thing.
That didn't know, for real. Yeah. I love that.
And maybe not in that tone either.
Oh, okay. What tone would you?
Because there's some hand claps that can, we clap in church, we play the tambourine. You can also clap.
When a word is going forth, the word is going forth.
So what you not going to do
yes.
right now, fam? Like, that's
acceptable.
It's not. Look, listen. Well, then my Bible says something different.
No.
Because my Bible said there's a laying on of hands, the right hand of fellowship.
Not what that means.
Is that not
taken out of context?
Wow,
awkward.
That's
real
weird.
Awkward. Yeah.
Jesus and I need to have another conversation.
You got that friend that uses scriptures the wrong way.
I was like, the right hand or the backhand of fellowship.
No,
not the backhand
it's definitely not the backhand. And I'll look it up
weird.
in the Greek, but I don't think it's.
I think it was in the Message Bible.
That's not. You can't. That's one step from the Ebonics version of the Bible.
Listen, I got the whole Ebonics version too.
The who version?
The Ebonics.
Never heard of it.
What? Because it said the backhand of fellowship.
Okay.
And the right fist of. Don't worry about it.
It's long. We've run out of time.
It's wild.
Yeah. Follow her on social media for the rest of it.
No, I'm not saying go to jail. Don't go to jail for nobody. Because what I wanted to say is, don't let it beat you twice. Because what's happening is the situation is beating you twice. And what I mean by that is, this man cheated. You lost your community.
Yeah.
And now you've gone inward. And now, while he's probably going on with his life, I don't know what the situation is like, but now you're the one at home with a drinking problem.
Yeah.
And possible kidney failure.
Yeah.
How'd that work?
Wow.
Because they messed up.
Yeah.
They were unhealed. They mistreated you. And now you're mistreating you. Don't let it beat you twice, sis.
Yeah.
Like, you're better than this. You're worth more than this. Like, this is also not where it ends. This is where your story restarts.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to make light of that, but you punishing yourself won't make someone love you more, won't make God love you less. Like, he's waiting for you to put the bottle down, to be honest, so that he can be like, can I show you what really happened?
Right.
Because you have a story, Brene Brown, the story I'm telling myself. There's a story that you're telling yourself about the situation and also about you. Because I don't know you and I don't want to make assumptions, but I'm pretty certain that at some point there was what was it about me?
For sure.
Why wasn't I enough?
Yeah.
After everything I've done, it was a woe is me, and then that cycle lends itself into lack.
Yeah.
Lack of being enough, lack of being worthy, lack of being beautiful, lack of being desired, lack of being adorned, lack of, I gave you everything. And if we're going to do anything, we going to Angela Bassett it, and somebody else's car is being burned in the
Okay, I'm going to interject there.
Okay. Just the way to exhale.
Yeah, no, we're not going to.
I mean, when I'm saying you should do that, but I'm saying like don't punish yourself.
Right.
That was just the message.
Period. Right there.
But, yeah, but I mean, but I do have some lighter fluid. No, I'm just
what? Last time you said, but you went so deep. This time it was the Yvonne version of.
I'm just saying, like. Who is going to file the police report?
I want to thank you.
I feel like there's going to be a disclaimer. The views shared by Yvonne Orji are solely her own. They are not a reflection of women.
Definitely going to add that. Okay. Remind me to add that in post, please. Yes.
You don't have to edit. I just said it for you.
No, but I have to say it.
Wow.
Or it doesn't count. Thank you for doing this with me.
I feel like that's not how we're going to end. What is your advice?
I was sprinkling it in while you were going. You were pouring. I said the spiritual bypassing.
Nah, you left me out. See, this is a setup. Now, I'm going to go. All my followers are going to be like, Yvonne's not saved.
No, it was great. You gave incredible wisdom. There's nothing for me to add.
I love the folks in the back that know what else because you're like, yeah. Meanwhile, everyone watching this is like,
I promise you, it was incredible.
I have to question Yvonne's salvation now.
No, it was incredible.
Because you also do have to be human. Because my thing is like, yes, we can churchify a lot of things. And I think it is good to lead with joy and love and Tabitha Brown.
But Tabitha let Wendy know
with the joy and the love of the Lord, and there is an aspiration to being like Tabitha. There's also a humanity of having feelings, and I think sometimes in the church, like the church tells us so quickly to be like, and I hate. I'm not going to front. I hate this. I hate this with a passion, because I have been the one in my family or in certain friends groups that like I love God with all my heart, and when somebody wrongs me, the first thing that I'm told is like, but you know Jesus. Yes. And they all have the opportunity to know him too. Doesn't mean that they come at me sideways.
That's the spiritual bypassing though, where like everything is like straight to God and I'm upset with God. But it's like I have real feelings and emotions about this. And I need to sit in them for a minute to figure out the thoughts connected to them and to allow myself to be a person.
And it's okay if my forgiveness looks like I still want a divorce.
Yeah,
and also I'm taking half.
Right.
Actually, I'm taking 75%.
Okay.
In some countries and
places. Wow.
Some states.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm just saying, I'm just saying that I think that in addition to having a spiritual response, because you do have to keep your heart right. I'm not saying don't live with anger and hate and all that, because again, that erodes your soul.
Yeah.
But don't negate your humanity.
Yeah. You have to.
Because if not, you're going to get to a point where you're so mad at God.
Yeah.
Because at some point in life, it was taught to us that it was noble to continue to downplay yourself for the spiritual blessing of
I want to say, no, like we're over time, but for you, I'm fine. But I do want to speak on that because we have made God so delicate and sensitive that like, oh no, don't tell him you're upset. Oh no, don't tell him you're angry. And so now we have people who have real feelings and emotions that they feel like I can't even bring these into the presence of God. So I'm going to pick up a bottle or I'm going to disconnect, not recognizing like God can sit in all of it. Yeah. Like I can handle all of that.
He's good.
Yeah.
Like he died on the cross. He's good. If he can't handle you being with your claps, he handled nails, fam.
Yeah.
He's Gucci. Trust me. There's nothing you can say for him to be like,
yeah, at all.
Daughter of mine.
That's where the church is messed up, though. Because we gasp. I'll never forget literally telling my story at a church somewhere, and this lady gasped when she heard that I got pregnant at 14, like gasped. Even when I did the Breakfast Club recently, someone's like, what was a daughter of the church doing having sex at 14? So like it makes you feel like there's something wrong with me, and I don't want to process it with other people or take it into community because there's going to be an element of shame.
I was asked on like when I do like the question, somebody was like, do you think that Hollywood is a toxic environment for Christians? And I said, I think some churches are a toxic environment for some Christians.
Next question.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, they be trying to make everywhere else Sodom and Gomorrah. And I'm like, no, look to your neighbor.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had church people who were not happy with the title of my book being called Bamboozled by Jesus.
Oh, really?
Because they were like, nah, because a loving father don't bamboozle nobody. And I said, so we don't even have a sense of humor.
Yeah, because I'm like, this is wow. I never once thought that like, oh, this going to get her in trouble or this is spicy. Like I never.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
Neither did I. But there was a chain that somebody like took a snippet of something, and I just, sometimes it's just good to be in the background lurking, and I just like looked at the comments, and they were like, I see what sis is trying to do, but like that's not it. That's not even like godly. That's not even scripture. And I was like, oh my God, you're so. What Pastor Mike used to say, you're so heavenly focused that you're no earthly good.
Yeah.
Just so sis, again, our heart goes out to you.
Yeah.
But my desire for you is for you to find your joy and your love in you before you even find it in God.
Yeah.
Find it in you. Find your worth back in you, and then you'll see that he was always there. He'll wait for as long as you desire him to. He'll wait, and he won't judge you when you come back. He'll embrace you and hug you and pick up right where you left off, because there are things that are still waiting for you to do in this world that are going to make your ex feel like the next. Okay, he's gonna be so mad. He's gonna be so mad. And I don't even know if he's an ex.
Right.
I don't know, but maybe when you find you, he might be your ex.
That version of him has got to go though. He may, you know what I mean? He may need to be rebirthed into something else, because that version of him, that ain't
because
it.
so often too we're so quick to forgive, but it's like, well, have they like, what? I'm forgiving you, but have you changed?
Yeah. Have you figured out like how you ended up there and what you're going to do to make sure you don't end up there again? And
it's not to say that, and I love the church and that, like, he's just a human. It's like, yes, as he is just a human, I too am a human.
Yeah.
And so it has to go both ways.
It doesn't excuse us from being responsible and doing work to make sure that we're taking care of God's other creatures.
Because at the same time you were up there, and at the same time you were in small groups, like, at some point the word was still being administered to you, sir, and you chose to not. Have you chosen otherwise? These are real questions. See, I can switch it. Oh, I'm gonna be a good wife. That was good. That was good.
That was good. That was good. That actually was good, because it started off when we first began, but then it ended strong. I feel good about it.
I feel judged about it.
Oh, do you?
Oh, dude. Oh. So we talk about judgment now. Oh, so you want to be out here in your feelings now? Wow.
Fine. This has been great.
This has been great.
Thank you.
She's never having me on it.
I am. They're going to ask for you to be at everything we ever do.
Are they?
Life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm available. But you all got to, again, I started, listen, no one can actually be upset because I started this saying, I mix DMX.
That's when you should have known that, like, from here, anything could happen.
Anything, but at the center. Jesus
at
the center of... I gotta find it. Key change.
You got it? Ooh.
It all.
Tell me when you find it.
It's lost. It's lost
gone.
and found.
Never
But
coming
he
back.
is at the center.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's...
It's evident. I will say one thing before we go. One thing.
Not with the it's evident.
One thing. Last thing. So as you're being less Nigerian this year.
Yes. Are we going to take a trip? What are we doing?
Oh, okay. No, it's not what I was going to say, but I'm here for it. But you were supposed to give me details on your other trip, and you didn't. I looked up, and you was gone. No, you didn't. Don't make me go back.
I sent you my travel agent's number, which I can also...
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
It's not today.
Okay.
Don't call me no liar. Don't you call me no liar.
And the therapist number, because
searching. Okay.
So as you are disconnecting from hustle culture...
Yes.
And I just want you to know that, like,
you're going to find me a husband.
Okay, I want to finish because it feels like every time I start,
okay,
I just believe.
So you're not going to help me.
Wow.
I was like, first things first. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
Well, because I need to find someone who makes it over a certain amount of money. And what was it? Do you want to go into that? We'll call you back. All right, listen. Here's the thing. One and only thing. Okay. Multiplication. When you were speaking about, like, really taking time to yourself and doing less but still having the same amount of impact and trusting sustainability, like, I just heard the word multiplication for you. And that it may seem like you're not hustling as much, but what you will do is going to be multiplied in such a way it's going to be beyond what you could have done while hustling.
I received that
with
all my heart.
I felt that for you.
Are you hearing from Jesus or whatever?
A little bit.
Did he give you a name? Did he give you, like, a GPS
Yvonne.
Location?
He told me it's Yvonne.
No, that's my name. Unless
right.
I marry myself.
Yeah, no,
I will renegotiate the contract.
Starts with you.
Oh, I love me.
And next. And
no, I received that word. I do. I received that
All
word.
I have is multiplication. I don't have names. But multiplication for your work, for your effort, your peace, your joy.
For my love life?
No, not multiplication.
Because I'm thinking like multiple or...
No, subtraction.
No. Okay.
It's giving. I bind you, Satan. It's giving subtraction.
What?
No. I have no word about your love life.
You sure? Let's just go deeper. Tap in.
Nothing. I'm drawing a blank.
You didn't sit in it.
We didn't even talk about the single stuff. You're gonna have to come back.
What time is it?
It's past 3:45.
Oh my God, I gotta get out of here.
I told you we're past time.
Yeah, it's time for us to go.
Okay. We're good. We're gonna mark it. I'm gonna edit it. It's fine.
Episode 2 coming soon. We're about to get into the single stuff.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah,
because we have things to say about that.